Well, well, Allison, you're trying to cut corners again, aren't you? This is exactly why girls raised by some sloppy, broke single father always end up like this. Absolutely useless.
London, I'm sorry, what are you even talking about? That was a very sudden attack, and I don't see where it's coming from.
Oh, don't play dumb with me. You were about to serve up lazy food again, weren't you? Were you seriously about to feed my son that kind of garbage?
Lazy food? I don't understand. What do you mean?
Your fridge! It was packed full of pre-made side dishes. I saw it with my own eyes.
Wait, are you saying you went inside our house again while we weren't home?
I simply stopped by to borrow something, and while I was there, I took a look around to see if my son's wife was keeping the home properly. There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
There's everything wrong with that. I've asked you before. Please don't let yourself in when nobody's home. At the very least, can't you wait until Flynn or I are present and let us know beforehand?
And now you're dodging the topic. Typical. You always try to shift the blame when you're called out for your own failures. We're talking about those pathetic pre-made meals in your fridge, not your boundaries.
So you really think having pre-made dishes is cutting corners?
Absolutely. Especially that excuse of a meat and potatoes stew. What were you even trying to do with that?
Meat and potatoes? Wait, do you mean that stew?
Yes, if that's what you call it. The vegetables were cut unevenly, the broth was tasteless, so just appalling. So I threw it away.
You what?
I threw it out. There's no way I'd let Flynn eat something so bland and half-hearted.
That dish, Flynn made it.
What?
My father's friend brought us fresh potatoes the other day. Flynn got really excited and said he wanted to try cooking something on his own. So he followed a recipe step by step and made that nikujaga himself.
You're telling me Flynn made that?
Yes, he's been getting more and more interested in cooking lately. He's been flipping through recipe books after work and practicing with the basics. That stew was something he was really proud of, and you threw it away like it was trash?
You let your husband, a grown man, cook for himself?
I'm sorry, I'm not sure how that's relevant.
Unbelievable. That alone proves you're a failure as a wife. But more importantly, don't you dare ever serve him reheated meals again. And from now on, make sure he eats better food, not the leftovers from yesterday.
What exactly do you mean by better?
I saw you the other day at the supermarket. You were buying marked down meat and wilted vegetables. I saw you looking through the clearance bin like a scavenger.
You were watching me?
I was going to say hello, but honestly, I was too embarrassed. I couldn't believe you'd stoop so low in public.
London, have you ever stopped to consider why we're struggling to stay within our budget lately? You barging in uninvited and throwing out food like that, it's not just invasive, it's wasteful. That lazy stew could have lasted us 2 days' worth of meals and you just trashed it.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but we have reached our limit. I'm going to talk to Flynn and ask him to take back the spare key. You can't keep coming and going whenever you like.
You what? You're taking the key away from me?
Actually, I'm thinking of changing the locks to a type that can't be duplicated so easily, just to be safe.
You little...
I really don't have time to argue anymore. I have work left to finish. If you have concerns about what Flynn eats or what we keep in the fridge, feel free to call before showing up uninvited.
Well, this is unbelievable. I am his mother.
And I'm his wife. He's an adult, London. You don't get to decide what he eats, where he eats, or what time he gets home. And you certainly don't get to dictate how I manage our meals at home.
You're going to regret this.
Maybe, but at least I'll regret it with my dignity intact. Now please leave. London, where are you right now? I have been calling and messaging you for over an hour and no response. And I need you to return the spare key, remember? Still nothing. London, come on, I can see that you've read my messages.
Yes, calm down. What is it now?
When you stopped by earlier today, you took something from the house, didn't you?
I already told you. I sent a message saying I was borrowing something. The conversation about your disgraceful cooking was just a side note. That wasn't the main reason I dropped by.
Then give it back.
Excuse me? When a mother-in-law politely asks to borrow something, the proper response from a daughter-in-law is, "Of course, take whatever you need." Not screaming demands.
Then come when someone is actually home. You can't just let yourself in like that, London.
I did message you that I'd be borrowing something. Don't act like I didn't give you a heads up.
A vague message saying I'm dropping by to borrow something isn't enough. You didn't say what you were taking. Some things are precious. I don't want just anyone grabbing whatever they like from my home.
You're being ridiculous. If you're going to obsess over every little item, you're clearly not cut out to be the wife of this family.
Stop trying to twist this around and justify your behavior. You took something deeply personal, something that mattered to me.
What are you even talking about?
The dress you took. That was my mother's dress. It's one of the only things I have left of her.
This thing? Oh, that explains the weird pattern. Such a dated look. Oh, figures it would come from a cheap background.
You knew. You knew, didn't you? And now you're pretending you didn't?
Even knowing, it's not like it's anything special. You're acting like it's some priceless heirloom when it honestly looks like a thrift store reject.
Then give it back!
Well, that's going to be difficult right now.
Why?
Because I'm wearing it.
What?
A friend of mine invited me to a last-minute theater night. She said, let's make it a bit classy, everyone in dresses. But the problem was my own dresses were all at the cleaners. I wore one to a cousin's wedding just last week, and everything's out being washed.
So you decided to wear my mother's dress without asking?
Yes, I remembered seeing a few of your dresses tucked away. I thought one of them might do in a pinch. It's not my fault you keep sentimental junk in the closet and expect me to know which rags are sacred.
Why didn't you rent something or just wear something simple?
Rentals cost money. Why should I waste money when there's something right there at home? This worked out perfectly. It's convenient.
No, London, it's not convenient. It's theft. That dress was not yours to take, not yours to wear, and not yours to mock.
Oh, stop being so melodramatic. I told you, I'll return it. It's not like I'm keeping it. You're blowing this out of proportion.
You don't get to decide what is or isn't a big deal. That dress was the only thing I had left from my mother. It was hers. She wore it on the last birthday we celebrated before she passed. You had no right.
Oh, please. You can't live your life clinging to old rags and memories. Let it go already. She's gone.
Don't you dare.
I really don't have time for this. The performance is starting. I'm turning my phone off now.
London, don't you dare hang up on me.
Toodles.
London! Open your phone. Pick up. Why aren't you answering me? Explain yourself right now.
Ugh, what is this all about? Do you always have to be so dramatic?
Dramatic? You really think I'm being dramatic right now? Where is my dress? Don't play dumb. The heels and ribbon were in the case, but the dress was gone. The dress. My mother's keepsake, the one I trusted you to bring here safely. Where is it?
Oh, that. Right, yeah, about that.
Start talking now.
So, my friend, the one I went to the theater with yesterday, she saw the dress when I opened the bag and she was obsessed with it. She said she'd never seen anything so unique before, and she begged me to let her have it. Kept going on and on, wouldn't shut up about it, so I gave it to her.
You gave it to her? You gave away my dress. The only thing I have left of my mother, and you gave it away like it was nothing?
Oh, don't make it sound so harsh. She really loved it, and I didn't want to sour our friendship by saying no.
You seriously prioritized your friendship over my mother's legacy? Do you realize what you've done?
Oh, come on. It's not like it was some priceless relic. It's just a dress. And besides, it looked kind of old, honestly. Worn.
Don't you dare. That dress was handcrafted. My mother wore it the night she won her final competition. It was her most treasured possession. She made me promise to take care of it. You had no right to even touch it without asking, let alone give it away.
Okay. Jeez, you're acting like I burned your house down. I'll pay you for it if it means that much to you. What, like $300?
It's worth $300,000.
Sorry, what?
$300,000. That's what the dress is worth. It was made by a Japanese living national treasure. A one-of-a-kind commission, silk, hand-dyed by a master. Priceless? Maybe, but insured for $300,000.
That's a joke, right? There's no way something like that ended up in your family.
Why not? Because we're not dripping in gold? Because I come from a single-parent household, do you assume we're broke? My mother's family descended from nobility. The dress originally belonged to my grandmother. She purchased it through a personal connection with a renowned artisan. And that artist was recognized by the Japanese government for cultural preservation.
No, you're lying. This is some kind of trick to guilt me.
You don't believe me? Fine. Ask your sister Angela. She and her husband visited our home, remember? She took one look at the dress and nearly cried. Recognized the textile work instantly. Said it had to be from a living national treasure. And said it could easily be worth $300,000 or more. She even asked to take a photo of it to show her contacts.
Why didn't you tell me all of this earlier?
I tried, but you turned off your phone. You always do that when things get inconvenient, don't you? You walk around like nothing matters unless you decided it mattered.
Okay, fine, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
But you knew it was my mother's keepsake. You knew I trusted you. And you still gave it away. You still laughed when you told me it had been chopped up for an Aloha shirt.
Well, I didn't think it would spiral like this. I just thought she'd wear it once, maybe keep it. I didn't think she'd destroy it.
You didn't think at all. That's the problem. You act like people's hearts are toys. You walk around with your smirk and your petty little remarks, but the truth is, you're cruel. And when someone finally holds you accountable, you act shocked.
Look, I said I'd pay for it. I'll find a way.
You said it was a cheap old dress not 5 minutes ago. Now suddenly you're scrambling, but you know what? I don't want your money. I want my mother's dress back. Can you do that?
No, it's gone. I told you. It's been cut to pieces.
Then we're done, because this wasn't just a mistake. It was theft.
I didn't steal it.
You didn't have my permission. You took it without consent. You gave it away, and now it's destroyed. And I have every right to report that. Flynn wants me to go to the police. He is furious, London. Because while you were destroying what little I had left of my mother, he was the one trying to help me hold it together.
Flynn's involved in this?
Yes, and more than that, he told his father everything.
What? He told his dad?
Flynn sent him a message. He's flying back immediately. He said, and I quote, "If she did this on purpose, we'll be having a very serious conversation about what kind of woman I married." He also said you might want to start preparing for a divorce.
No. Oh, this is a nightmare. It was just a stupid dress. How did this happen?
Because you made it happen. You saw something that mattered to me and decided to ruin it. And the kicker? You weren't subtle about it. You whispered to yourself as you took the dress. "So, this is her precious keepsake dress, huh? Well, I'm sure it's nothing special. She'll probably panic when she finds out I wore it."
How do you know that?
Because you were caught on camera. Our pet monitoring system has sound. It recorded every word. And now it's evidence. Evidence of intent, of motive, of malice.
No, please. This can't be happening. I didn't know it was being recorded. I didn't think.
You never do. And for once, that's going to cost you.
Please, can't we just talk about this? Work something out.
You had that chance. You lost it. From here on out, I'll be handling everything through legal counsel. You'll hear from my attorney soon.
Wait, no, don't do this. I'll be ruined.
You should have thought of that before you treated my grief like a joke. Before you handed my mother's memory over to a stranger just to feel powerful. You destroyed something I can never replace, and now you'll have to live with the consequences. Goodbye, London. The following day, my father-in-law returned home from his post in another city, having been informed of everything that had happened in his absence. The moment he stepped through the front door and saw the tension in the air, he knew something was wrong. But once he heard the full story, every reckless, selfish act that had unfolded, his rage boiled over. I had never seen a man look so completely betrayed by the people he trusted most. His face, usually calm and composed, was hardened with fury and disbelief. He didn't waste time with shouting or theatrics. No, his response was far more final. He immediately told my mother-in-law that their marriage was over. No more discussion, no more second chances, just a quiet, steely declaration that it was finished. Apparently on his way home, after speaking with several family members and reading messages I had sent him to explain what happened, he had already stopped by the city hall and picked up the divorce papers. Now, with unwavering resolve, he placed the documents in front of her and told her to sign them. And she did. Perhaps out of guilt, perhaps out of shock, or perhaps because she knew she had no defense left. But that wasn't the end of the story, not by a long shot. For the infamous wedding dress, the one that held so much sentimental and monetary value, it had been recklessly cut up and turned into a gaudy aloha shirt, all for the sake of some tasteless joke. The person responsible for sewing the dress into that awful garment was one of my mother-in-law's close friends. At the time I was furious, but I had assumed she knew the dress's significance. It turns out she didn't. She had been told it was just some old fabric my mother-in-law no longer cared about. When the truth came out, she was horrified. A few days later, she visited me in person, bowed her head low, and dropped to her knees in front of me. Tears welled up in her eyes as she apologized again and again, saying she had no idea what she had been asked to destroy. She begged for forgiveness, saying that she couldn't live with herself if she didn't try to make things right. I never wanted to see anyone grovel like that. I didn't need her to do that. I could see she was genuinely remorseful. She wasn't the one who needed to bear the full weight of this disaster, but she insisted. As a result, she proposed a repayment plan for the cost of the destroyed dress. She would handle the entire financial burden out of her own pocket. Not because I asked her to, but because she said her conscience wouldn't allow her to do otherwise. That kind of integrity, it honestly surprised me. Later, I found out something else that made everything make a little more sense. This friend of my mother-in-law's wasn't just any ordinary person. She was actually a wealthy businesswoman. She owned a factory, managed a successful textile enterprise, and had more than enough resources to cover the damages. And this is where the irony truly hit home. She decided that my mother-in-law would pay off the debt herself by working in her factory. Yes, the same woman who once bragged about being too refined for manual labor was now waking up before dawn to put in hours on the production floor. Her friend had offered her a position out of mercy, a way for her to make amends through honest labor. I heard from mutual acquaintances that she's been grumbling every day since, muttering things like this wasn't how her life was supposed to turn out and how unfair everything is. But honestly, I can't feel sorry for her, not even a little. She did this to herself. She tore apart something meaningful, treated it like trash, and for what? A moment of petty control? A show of disrespect? Now she's paying the price literally and figuratively. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.